and we are live. So next week, a sequel is coming to a film which called a cultural phenomena all around the globe, and I'm talking about Black Panther. And today we are revisiting that film. Hello guys, welcome to Society. I'm Nona Prince, joined by Nolan the Batman and Harneet. Why you are laughing?
You forgot.
I didn't
You
forget
forgot.
anything. You didn't have to laugh. You ruined it. He's DC guy. That's why he ruined it. But today we are here to revisit Black Panther and remember Chadwick Boseman also. So I got to watch the film again yesterday and today. I like half. But these two gentlemen are very busy people, so they couldn't. But anyways, we'll dive into our thoughts on the film. But let us know your thoughts. What were your thoughts when you watched the film for the first time, and what your thoughts now? Have it changed? Because for me, it has definitely changed a lot. I think after Phase 4, things have changed. Even a thing which you didn't like back then, you today is like a masterpiece. But let us know all that in the chat and the comments as well. But let us continue our discussion, guys. Your quick overview of the film.
I didn't prepare anything to say.
That's you every time. When is the video you prepare? I don't know.
Uh,
I literally made
yeah.
notes. Okay.
I didn't know. Like I went in back then. Like every Marvel movie was like good for me. Like now looking back, people criticize some of the movies like Thor 2 and what is another bad Marvel movie? I don't remember. But when I watched them at the start, I liked all of them. Even Thor 2, I watched it with full interest and all. Like I wasn't watching it as a critic.
Continue. Continue.
So even this movie, I went in expecting like something amazing, but this was post BVS, so I went in trying to find faults because everyone was finding faults with DC movies at that time, like too much CGI and all. So I was like, is there too much CGI over here? I was searching for that.
All right.
One thing I found weird was like they decided to nerf vibranium by making it weak to magnetism. That was kind of weird. Like it's supposed to be the strongest substance, and you can literally damage like deactivate it with magnets.
Okay.
Mm.
Harneet.
Yeah, see, I'll keep Phase 4 aside for a while.
Okay.
Uh,
You can do
Even
that.
without the comparison with Phase 4, this is one of the better movies that Marvel produced in the first three phases, right?
Yeah.
Uh, like comparison to all the other superheroes that were introduced, and then like Marvel used to do a what we say origin story for a character, right? And this character got introduced to us in the Civil War, which was one of the best, first
Hmm.
scene of a character that we had seen in a while. Marvel, DC, whatever, like one of the first good introductions to a character. And I was pretty hooked up to that movie, Civil War. All were, I guess, and we all were waiting for the Black Panther movie to come, and
Yep.
it did not disappoint. It did not actually disappoint. And when I say it is one of the better Marvel movies, is because it did not follow the blueprint that Marvel usually has.
Yeah.
And even if the villain was just the same, had the same power set as the hero, the villain was pretty compelling. And after Loki, I think this was the best villain that they had.
Yep.
In my opinion, he is a better villain than Thanos. Even the direction that they took Thanos in the Endgame movie, that took a turn for me. I'm not comparing it to the Infinity War Thanos. That's a different ball game altogether. But a character who is human, they showed the humanity and the flaws in the character, and the villain of the movie was pretty interesting. And then you always say that the villain of the movie that's interesting, that makes the movie or breaks the movie.
Yeah. A very real villain, right?
So that for me, and we are living out of, yeah, very human and real villain. He did not have any tricks up his sleeve. He did not have any superpowers or anything. He was just a guy with a great mind, and all the vengeance that he
Revenge.
wanted
Yeah.
to show to the world.
Very
All that.
personal in a way.
Revenge, yeah.
one thing I feel about that is right, like he was a good villain, but then they ruined him in What If. Like in What If, they made him look very power hungry and never satisfied with what he
No, but
has and
that's
all.
a what if this, right?
Yeah, but still, it was like basically what if,
That's a what if.
what if Black Panther did not stop him? So
No,
like,
it's like what
what
if.
if yeah,
No,
that,
what if he had met Tony Stark?
yeah, but still, like in that version, he actually managed to conquer Wakanda. But then after that, he was not satisfied with that, and then he kept getting more and more power hungry. So like that kind of
So,
ruined. Like he
I
had the same personality.
no, but I
It wasn't
feel
like
the way the path he was on, see definitely the Black Panther one Killmonger is more emotional and more like the father story, revenge and all. That one is know his backstory, but they are just showing us his plans, the way he's executing. So I feel
yeah.
like that Killmonger is like more tactical. He's just trying to get that power position and accomplish his mission. Where we are not that much invested in emotional side, whereas this one is more like that whole. Okay, we'll not jump to the sequences yet, but I like movies in the chat. Hey guys, the
Yeah.
CG is
So
a bit rough in some
yeah.
parts,
So see,
especially
coming
the
back.
end, but the character stuff is awesome. The villain justifies his anger by but the way that he takes out his anger is what differentiate him with T'Challa. All right, yes, Harneet.
See, coming back to what I was saying, like we are not people from the US and the Western culture, right? We have not seen the racism. We have not seen the. We are not aware of all the things that go on there, and for them, it was a pretty cultural phenomenon, as they say. It was a pretty important movie for them, irrespective of Marvel, irrespective of everything. Like we have all seen
First,
how black
first
men
all
are
black movie to
portrayed in
win.
movies.
First all black movie to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
But
So
it wasn't all
like we
black.
talk about,
Yeah, but like
we've all talked
majority.
about portrayal of, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have all talked about portrayal of Punjabi and Sikh in Bollywood, right? And how they are portrayed as stereotypical Punjabi, right? And how stereotypically black people were portrayed in movies, and how it started with people like Denzel Washington, where they started getting lead roles in their own movies, and Morgan Freeman and all that, and how it actually transcends to a all black cast and crew, not crew black but black cast
but I
movie,
think I think
right?
we
And
got
how
we
it actually
got
justified all
an
that.
we got a all black cast and crew movie before Black Panther, which was Moonlight, which won the Oscar, which had the big Oscar thing, which that they said La La
Hmm.
Land won, but it was actually Moonlight and all that fiasco happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways.
So I'm just saying, like superhero movies, which are generally whitewashed, right? All the black characters are generally sidekicks or the secondary characters, and
Yeah, they
finally
die.
seeing a
They're the first
character
one
for
to
them
die.
was pretty, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's something very different. And T'Challa is, Chadwick Boseman himself spent his life, inspiring other people how to, follow their dreams and everything. If you have watched his interviews and his speeches, he was very well aware of his condition, in the last 5 or 6 years, and he knew what he wanted to do for the community, and what he wanted to do for the other underprivileged people that live there. And his passing actually made me appreciate the movie more, like how he was about the craft, how he was about the movies that he did, not just the Marvel movies, the other movies that you see in which he has portrayed legends of the black culture.
Yeah, I
So
think
that is something,
the year
that is why I think the movie was more important to a lot of people.
last year or day before that, I saw two Chadwick's films for the Oscars. One was Spike Lee's film, which was again about five black people who went to Vietnam, and they had actually got gold and buried there,
Yeah.
and now into the present time they are going back there to get that gold back, and how they just end up killing each other and all of that, and they did this because Chadwick was their hero, but he died at that time only. So they are living in that like it's a very amazing film. And also there was one more where he plays a musician, and his performance in that is just outstanding. I forgot the name. Some black bottom, something like that. Black Mama, something like that was that.
There's
I'll
even the
just
one
So
about
so what I'm saying is like even for MCU, when you yeah, so even for MCU, when you think about introducing Wakanda, a hidden nation, and I was worried about how are they gonna portray Black Panther because in the movies he's not such a good guy. He's a king, right? He's a like aristocrat kind of a person, and he favors his own kind. He favors his own nation above all, and he's not that at good terms with the Avengers all the time. So I was actually gonna was worried how they were gonna portray that, but actually the movie was good. So, revisiting that movie is something I have actually watched the movie 3 or 4 times. So I actually love the movie, and all the things. There are some shortcomings in the movie, but overall the movie has had a great impact on MCU and on filmmaking as a whole, I think.
yeah. The movie was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Da Five Bloods, which was Spike Lee's. So that was the first time I was introduced to him, same in other film than MCU, and I was really like, wow, he was a great actor. But okay, just few things. I think first of all, they even changed the intro for the Black Panther movie on Disney Plus. It's the Chadwick Boseman one, which will play for Black Panther Wakanda Forever also. Just with him, like for I think it was Stanley they played, right, just with him, all the images we get in that logo. Then okay, I have some notes I have to go through, but for first I have a question. How does Black Panther really works? I'm not
huh?
sure. So who becomes the king also becomes Black Panther, or is just their family
Yeah,
who gets the Black Panther powers? It
their
doesn't have to.
family only becomes the king, right?
No, but if imagine M'Baku had won that fight.
See,
Yeah, he would have become
the warrior
M'Baku
from the
would have become
family becomes the Black Panther, right?
then M'Baku would have become Black
No,
Panther.
that's not true. That's what I'm
But
saying.
see, Black Panther. If you remember the Civil War, no, even if you remember the Civil War movie, he talks about Black Panther is a great warrior who has been protector of Wakanda for generations, right? And then he says that because my father is dead, now I have to wear the mantle of king also. So it's not necessary for you to be king to become Black Panther. You can become the Black Panther before the king, but you have to be from the royal family.
Hmm.
No, but it
If the
can be
challenge
challenged,
comes
right?
and you lose the challenge, then it passes. Yeah, the challenge can pass on the rights.
No, but what I'm trying to say is
Like if
becoming Black
Baku has
Panther
won,
and becoming the king are two separate things.
yeah, they are two separate things.
Yeah.
Because maybe
Black T'Challa was
that's
Black Panther before he became the king.
yeah, because the king of course couldn't be Black Panther anymore, right? Because of
Hmm.
his age.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So the
Uh,
heir to the throne, like everybody knew T'Challa would be the king someday, right?
but can
So
Yeah.
he was
anyone
the
challenge,
heir to
or
the
it
throne
it has to be
Yeah.
someone
of
from the
Wakanda.
royal blood? Because M'Baku is
Anyone
not
can.
from anyone
Yeah.
can, right? Yeah.
Anyone can challenge. Anyone from the tribe. Any of the other tribes
Anyone
leaders.
from any tribes, anyone
Yeah.
from any tribes. Yeah,
Because I think there's when Killmonger beats him, right, and maybe just kills him or whatever. Uh, I think someone says, "What can we?" No, Nakia comes to Okoye and says, "Let's go." And she said, "I cannot come." And she said, "He's a murderer." And she says, "No, he won in the ritual, right? It's not a murder. It's like, and he's from the royal blood, so I have to,
yeah,
I'm loyal to the throne."
yeah,
Yeah.
Aditya says, I have
yeah.
thought whether my view on Joker from Dark Knight would be different if Heath was alive. What about you? No, I don't think so because I saw Dark Knight
You want?
not knowing anything about Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Exactly. I did not know he died. Till
I didn't know
I
who
didn't.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing, same
So
thing.
I don't agree
We
with
were
that.
too. We were too young
See,
to
I
care
got to know
about.
about Heath Ledger's story way later.
We were too young to care about that stuff when The Dark Knight came out. I'm like, ah, that actor died. Ah, who cares? The movie was, yay, did you see the movie? We didn't care back then. We were like, what? When the movie came out, we were in, not even in 10th standard, right? 2012 or something it was. We
To
were kids.
10th was for 2014 for us.
I
Yeah,
was in 12th.
exactly.
No, 2012 came
Exactly.
Dark Knight
I was 12th
Rises.
in 12th standard back.
Yeah, exactly. See, Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012. So we were even younger when Dark Knight
No,
came out.
I saw Dark Knight not a good way. The Dark Knight was 2008, dude.
Yeah, so see, we were kids,
Through a
dude.
friend. Through a friend.
Yeah, I've said it many times on the stream that I have watched the cam version of it. 28 was, dude, 14 years ago, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
exactly.
shit. Oh my god. Okay, I feel T'Challa had some of the best mass kind of dialogues in Civil War, Black Panther, and Infinity War. Yeah, he was a king, right? So it made sense.
Vengeance has consumed you. It is consuming them.
But did you
It
feel like
consumes me no
in Black
longer.
Panther his accent was much more like understandable than Civil War?
I guess it was fine. I
I
could
felt
understand.
Civil War was still like what he was in Civil War
Yeah.
again. It's
See,
very
it
hard to
was
understand, whereas Black
yeah, it
Panther
was
it's
more
so easy.
prominent in Civil War, but it was understandable.
Ah, see, that's also probably because everyone he was the only one with the accent in Civil War violence in Black Panther. Everyone had the accent, so our ears probably adjusted to it.
I like when he's saying Nolan, please stick to Batman voice. Okay. So before coming to a lot of stuff, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this? That see now with Wakanda Forever is that it happened in real life. Chadwick passed away, so and they don't want to recast the character. So we
I
are moving on
I
with.
I saw meme about that, you know. It was like everyone acting like big people attacking Wakanda until T'Challa possesses Killmonger's body and shows up.
But okay, coming to serious thing, I was saying that like now it's unfortunate what has happened, but we know already that in the film also they're gonna you know what's a good word to say it.
Kill him off.
That's not a great good line to say. Um, like he passes away in the film, the character
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
So and we are moving on. So, but my thing was even watching this film, right? I realized that the film starts with that his father has died. Then we get to know his father had killed his brother. Then in the film also there's like a fake out that he has died again. Then there's a Killmonger dies. So I'm like, there's a lot of death. Like it, and I think that's why
You
that's
sure
why
James Gunn didn't direct this movie?
no, I feel that's why this film feels very different from MCU in a way because it's its own universe, and they don't have to take it slow and like, oh, you have to build up everything and then slowly take off. You cannot just kill all the characters like that. So it's just fun fake film of
You
Black
know,
Panther.
if you remember, if you remember a Civil War when T'Challa's father dies, there is a line from his like death is a very big part of our culture. Like it's a gateway to a new
Yeah,
life. It's not the end, right?
yeah.
So that was a line that resonated when I was watching this movie recently. After Chadwick died, I actually watched this movie recently, right? And seeing that movie and reminiscing that he has passed away, and he's saying that that is
Hmm.
not the end in our culture. It's just more of a stepping off point.
Yeah.
And now see the thing you were talking about, him passing in real life and the movie adjusting to that actually is quite respectful to the actor. Like I told about his craft and his dedication towards the movies, but when the effort is appreciated and is resonated with the movie makers, we all talk about that. Movie makers are all about the money and all. When they respect that,
Producer.
okay, this thing can be earned another way. We don't have to be disrespectful to someone who was such a big impact on people. So people would have a revolted against the Black Panther 2 movie if they had recasted someone.
I don't think so.
would have watched the movie.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so. I
You
don't
know,
know why. I feel
people
like
were
I,
so
I
attached
feel
to
like
T'Challa.
I think it's the MCU's image, right? Like recently, there is a lot of negativity around them with all the VFX artist thing, and the phase 4, a lot of films not really working well critically. But I think before that they have always been very pro fans and pro public, and I feel if they had taken the decision and they would have come out on what if Chadwick, like it happened very suddenly, right, for the general public, that suddenly the news came out that he's no more, so but
Yeah.
inside, if it was a known thing and Chadwick
They
had
probably
already
had
come
a
out
good
and
amount of time to think about it, you know.
no, what if they had already casted
Yeah.
before, like before his death? Like maybe he was in hospital, he couldn't continue, and they already had
See,
passed on the
there was a thing that only Ryan Coogler knew. Kevin Feige didn't know until very late. And I think what they did is something to be appreciated. You know, we can all talk about like what would they have done, but the decision that they took is the optimal one. You know, it's respectful to the fans, it's respectful to the actor, it's respectful to the MCU as well. It's not going to ruin the movie, as they say, you know.
yeah.
Like they're not taking any 50-50 steps. The decision is actually very nice.
Did you hear that what was the story was supposed to be if Chadwick was here with us?
No.
It was supposed to be that
No.
T'Challa's character is grieving of his loss of 5 years, and how to run his nation now that he was away for 5 years, and the effects of the snap on his rule and his kingdom. I was like, wow, man,
That
that would have been epic.
no, it wouldn't. That would have been a very mainstream story, man. Like they've covered that in so many MCU storylines now.
When? That's
They
my
did the
biggest issue
same.
with Phase
See,
4 that they
Namor was
didn't.
anyway going to be a part of the movie, right?
No. In that, what he said, Ryan Coogler shared,
Acha.
he said Neymar was not a part of it. And it was all supposed to be focused on his grief of losing those 5 years. And like basically, like there'll be villains and all that.
But
Basically,
you know,
the idea was this basic theme was this.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so when I first watched the trailer of this upcoming Black Panther movie, you know, there
Yeah.
was this underlying theme of death of Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa. You know, that is making the movie more hard hitting. Like I didn't expect the trailer to hit that hard. When it starts with all of them in white,
Dude, I have so
they're
many
taking
times we
the
discussed
mask,
about it.
Black Panther's mask.
That we were so unsure about this film. But the moment that first teaser dropped, we all were
Yeah,
like silent.
no
exactly.
woman, no cry.
So
Man.
that shows, you know, that shows not to just filmmakers, but to us audience also, you know, that first movie had a lot of, you know,
We are so
influence on us
invested.
as a part of MCU and
Yeah.
as a movie itself. Yeah.
You talked about like culturally, like for America, it was a big thing, and we may not know, what has like through movies we know, but not on the ground level what's really happened and as an American. But I feel like this film transcends because I think they're very similar themes we can relate to as Indians also. The story is, very much,
Yeah.
very rooted in our culture also in a way, with the kings and the siblings war and the kingdom and like fighting over and
Yeah,
have
old King style movies. Yeah.
we like in a way we also have we were also colonized, so we also understand that aspect, not to that extent as a whole race, but so I think in a lot of ways Indians also connect to that story. And I remember showing it to my parents in
Surely,
Hindi.
surely.
They loved this film. This was one of their favorites when I was showing the Infinity Saga to them. One of their favorite films because it's just so easy to relate for Indian audience in so many ways.
Yeah.
And as I said, even being not very reminding of MCU film, even the humor in this film is very different than the other humor in MCU films. So you can see that there was a real voice of
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler. There is humor, but very like the way they are framing it. It's a serious situation going on. When they are giving
Not
the
forced.
when
Yeah,
they're
it's not forced
yeah,
humor
yeah,
basically.
when they're giving the herb to T'Challa when he's in the ice, and that moment it's serious and they're remembering their ancestors. But then there's a first shot of M'Baku standing there and looking at this guy, Ross, whatever his name is. Ross, right? No,
Uh,
not Ross. Come on, I just watched this
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
It's Ross, right? Something Ross. So he just looks, he just stares at him. He's like, look away. So he also looks away. And you laugh, it's just funny. But it's not trying to make you the force, moment, just laugh and all
You
of that.
remember the scene of Sneakers?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
was
is so
thinking of
funny.
that
What are
also.
those?
That is so funny. And like he didn't get it. Like Chala doesn't get that joke, and she has to explain like let it be.
Yeah.
I think Michael B. Jordan will come back in he will be the new. No, I don't think so. And also there is a moment in first movie that
He is in the
Right.
movie.
hey shush, don't say anything. Even if it's
He
a
is in
rumor
the
or something.
movie.
Don't.
Flashback,
No, it's
flashback.
not a rumor.
Probably
He is in the
flashback.
movie.
Are
Probably
shut up.
flashback.
I'm saying
It,
na.
it's like that
I don't want
thing.
to know. Shush.
It's probably a flashback.
Shush.
Okay,
I'm
okay, okay.
saying in even the first movie, right? There's a scene where Queen Mother asks Nakia to take that herb and become Black Panther, and she refuses, and they go to M'Baku to give it to him. Hey Samurai, welcome. I think Michael B. Jordan. Okay. Relating to Indian audiences, there is mother-father sentiment, but done very different. Yeah, and even the concept of death, right? Like we believe in reincarnation in a way,
Mm.
or like next life or something like that. I think that the culture is very well portrayed, man. I think that's guys, hit the like button. Come on, so many people watching, only 2 likes. So many means 5 people.
See, they didn't hold back.
Yeah,
The point was they didn't hold back when they were showing the African richness of the movie, right?
yeah,
So, you know, it might be a case that they would have thought that this might be too much of for the mainstream audience or the non-African audience. But everybody embraced it. Everybody liked it. They did not say that it was too much African tribe or something. Even the songs, even the tribal songs that they were going
the music
in
too. The
the
music is
fight
so
scene,
good.
in the challenge scene,
Yeah.
music is so nice.
No, that's
All
that
those
scene.
things
Actually,
actually.
watching again, that scene really feels like an Indian film, where the first fight he's having to become king, and he's down, and the mother is shouting, "Can do it,
Yeah,
son of the Chaka. You are T'Challa, come on!" And then he picks up and fights back.
yeah.
That's such an Indian film scene. I had already liked the video. Now I have hit the like button again. I said hit that like button, like the video. I didn't say dislike it or not unlike it, whatever. The music won the Academy Award, I think. I don't think so. I think the costume won. I was actually looking for
This was one of the good. Yeah,
awkward
go on.
silence. I was saying I was actually looking for those visual effect scenes which I didn't really like a lot while the first time around, and this time I think they have improved it a bit, but still you can tell it's not a good shot. Especially when after T'Challa gets to
They were
know
in the
about the
last
truth.
fighting scene, right?
That also, even when T'Challa gets to know the truth, right? And Killmonger shows up at the border, then we see T'Challa sitting
Mhm.
with Nakia, you know, on a cliff. And you can easily tell it's a green screen and they have just removed it. It's
Mhm.
very obvious. And the second time before the climax, he goes to the ancestor plane and he shouts at everyone that how could you do it? How could you leave the world abandoned? I'll not do that. I have to go back. In that
Mm.
sequence, you can like I have seen a lot of Koido crew, so I know what's the issue in that scene.
I thought they picked on the train fight scene, right? Not the.
No, train is I think very obvious.
Yeah, the
Everyone
train
talks
fight
about
scene.
that.
That
But this
that was the
sequence,
worst
I
scene.
personally very much notice that it's obvious where the green screen is shot. Like it doesn't look real. Uh, it's not supposed to look real. It's a plane, but like I think just the effect doesn't look well.
That's why now
Uh,
they are using that those screens. They've
yeah,
shifted from green screen to those
volume.
LED screens.
The mother says, "Show him who you are." To me, Black Panther is a below average movie. Okay. Like, comparatively, I'll be honest, comparatively, watching the film again and having seen Phase 4, oh my god, the film is so good. Like, I don't think any Phase 4 movie comes close. Like No Way Home, I'll just consider it aside. Uh, why aside actually? It's I think one of the best Phase 4 movie.
See, what I'll talk about the family aspect of the movie first. Before we get into comparison with all the Marvel movies. See, this movie consists of a family. His dad died, then there is his mom, there is his sister, then the cousin comes up, and it's a self-contained movie, as you said. But still, the effect of a self-contained movie with comparison to other movies that Marvel had put out. Like we have always seen the daddy issues of Marvel characters, right?
Yeah.
After their dads have passed away or their dads are not good, but there never has been a self-contained family movie
You know,
about a
you know, I feel this film is superior than Shang-Chi. Because in Shang-Chi, I never felt that I was, introduced to a culture.
yeah,
Like there were sequences
yeah,
where their
exactly.
mother and father meet, right? That is very much inspired from old kung fu films, and that looks very good actually. But other than that, it's
Yeah.
just the family dynamic and
Thor.
yeah. Continue.
Thor 1 was the movie where we get to know all the family members of Thor, right? His mom is there, his dad is there, but that did not have a connect. Like the movie happened on Earth for the most part,
Yeah, it was
right?
about his
They have a
self-discovery.
family conflict and
Yeah,
everything. His self-discovery, right? In the later years, Thor family ties and friends and all those things were explored, but in a one movie, exploring a culture, a country, and their family, and a betrayal, and all those things, while still getting connected to the MCU, that was something very hard to achieve, I guess.
yeah,
But the movie, in all, as you said, as comparison to Phase 4, obviously it is a good movie. And even in Phase 3, this movie stands out. It's not one of those movies that gets lost in the crowd, right? You will always remember the first Black Panther movie, no matter if there are 50, 100 movies of MCU. Like,
yeah.
this is one of those movies, you know.
Definitely.
Thor, you might have to figure out which Thor movie is best, you know. Avengers movies, you might have to think about which movie is the best. But Black Panther 1 would always be one of the best MCU movies, that introduced a character and then had so much hope with the movie that people were looking up to it like this is going to be a great movie, and it actually was. From the soundtracks, from the story, from the villain, from the protagonist himself, the protagonist was not weak. Like T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, I think no one could have done it better.
Yeah, no doubt about
And
that.
when they were both talking, but it rarely happens when the villain and the hero talk. That is much better than
Yeah,
the fight.
yeah.
The conversation was much more interesting than the fight, I guess. So that's something to
And I
look in the
wanted that
movie
more
when
in
you
the climax
even in the
battle.
last scene. Yeah, even in the last scene, it's not that the villain realizes he's wrong or anything. He's like,
Yeah,
okay, I tried to fight, I tried to you know take my vengeance, I failed, now I'll accept my death like my ancestor did. He's not like, okay,
that
there's
line is
nothing.
so good.
He's actually the character, right?
Ali, I'll
Yeah.
rather lie at the ocean floor than be in bondage.
Bury me in the ocean where with my ancestors who thought death was more that was better than the captivity.
Bondage, bondage.
So that is a line to bondage. Death is better than bondage. So that is something that resonates with you. Like till the end, Killmonger was Killmonger,
Yeah,
and you get where he's coming from.
yeah. I think that
It's the
that's
whole life of
and the
anger.
whole. I wrote this point down. The way they show the backstory. You know, in small segments without giving away too much. And then when it strikes us that that kid in the beginning who was playing the basketball, that's actually him. And then we finally see all of
Uh,
this in the when he's going to a sister plane, but he goes to his own house, and there just by
yeah,
him
and how
opening
they come around.
opening that area, that he removes the painting, removes his book out, and we understand, okay, this is how we got to know about Wakanda and all of this, like how to come here and everything. So like
Yeah.
without dialogue, without any exposition, we understood how he got it. And then he just talked to his father when that sequence, like when his father says, no tears for me, Oh my God! And he replies, death that it comes for everyone. Oh man, that it give me right now. I'm getting goosebumps
You know
just thinking.
how the movie comes, how the movie comes full circle in the end to the same basketball, and when T'Challa and Shuri are talking about, what would it have been if it was different for him, how
Yeah,
it would have turned out.
yeah,
Like in the first scene, they say that he was abandoned by Wakandans. He feels abandoned. He saw the ship leaving.
yeah,
His dad died. He's alone, and the ship leaving. And in the last of the movie, the ship actually comes around, for another kid,
yeah.
and tells them, okay, this is Wakanda and everything.
It's
So it
like,
comes full circle up, and that's the beauty of the movie.
yeah, man. It's like there's a dialogue, right? He says that his father says, they feel we are lost, and he says, I think they are lost. Wakanda is lost, and I have to find them and show them the way. Amazing dialogues, man. Like you can see, it's coming from a personal space that the director, the vision, they know what they are doing. There's no trying to be, pandering to the, the culture or the people or the race, right? It's honest. And at that moment, Nolan is yawning. So, uh, okay. I like movie says you were right. The music won the Grammy Award. Thank you for that validation. Yes, Black Panther movie is much better than Phase 4, but that doesn't make it better. I think in retrospective, it's actually a really, really good film. It has issues, but it's a really good film. Shang-Chi was boring. I think, yeah, after second watch, I don't think I'll ever watch the film again. It's kind of similar to Bahubali. T'Challa is equivalent to Rana character of Killmonger. Yes, yes, easily. It's basically Lion King, right? It's basically the Lion King
Oh my
story.
God, everyone says that.
It's very similar to that. Uh, yeah, man. I think the first half, whatever you wanna call it, it's just perfect. I think I didn't have any issues. I think mostly the issues comes in the second half. And also, one thing I didn't remember this dialogue at all. The first time we seen the action scene where Nakia is with the in the trucks with the rebels, whatever you wanna call them, and T'Challa just jumps on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ship and goes. So there, right after saving them, Nakia says, "Take care and take care of the kid, and we are leaving now." And then Okoye goes to them and says, "Don't say a word about this to anyone." Because no one should know that a Black Panther exists or Wakanda came to save them like this. And T'Challa is looking at them and he's not feeling happy about this. And then all these people who don't live in the best conditions, they see the ship coming down and they are just in awe of it. Like that hit me. Oh shit, man! In the beginning only they set up this arc for T'Challa that we need to go out, we need to help. We cannot just stay inside. Mutun Rangam, Nona Prince fam. No, Nona Prince fam, not M. Uh, a lot of characters that came after Killmonger tried to be Killmonger but failed. The Miss Marvel villain, the Flag Smashers, Wanda. Flag Smashers, I would say, they ruined it because they changed the story due to COVID. Wanda? Villain? Agatha?
Nice. Wanda only is the villain, dude. She's
I don't have
talking.
issue with Wanda. She's really good.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Agatha, then that's a separate thing. But I feel like, I was just thinking watching this movie, right? It thinking of Black Adam. That movie could have been much better if they had just put in more writing, especially for the villain. Like they could have made him a bit more like Killmonger. Instead of just for centuries my family did this while like, but it's shit. Like would have given him more real stakes that he didn't have a good life. He
It was
got to know.
obvious, like they were trying to hide it, but it was obvious from the start only that he was the villain. Like when he
Second
walked up only,
second
I
viewing I
could have.
realized that it's the same actor who plays the king. King Atcon is played by the same actor who plays the villain.
Oh,
Second
I
time I
couldn't
realized, oh
make
shit,
out.
it's the same actor. So obvious. Wanda in Multiverse of Madness. No, I didn't find issue with that.
I think what he's trying to say is like justified reason for being a villain or something like that.
Like in like him, right? Like I was gonna say in Black Adam. Oh, Harneet, you have not seen it, right? Hello.
He's gone. He can't hear us.
Okay.
He's not
I was
listening.
gonna say Black Adam. Like he could have been like like he would have established that he has not lived the best life. He got to know that there's a crown like this and that, and you just think, why should I suffer? You should have made it more personal for him to get the crown instead of, oh, for 1,000, 2,000 years my family line has been doing it, so I'm getting, like, it's a bullshit. Like, just adding little more gravitas to your character could make it so much better. Uh, but moving on, coming back to Marvel, I talked about the backstory, culture stuff. First scene also I talked about. Yeah, I've pretty much done.
Yes.
I think even Claws. What do you think of Claws? They killed Claws in a way. So they did kill a lot of people.
What are you talking about?
Are Claw?
A claw. Like
They
claws,
in the film
claws.
they says it K-L-A-U-S-E. That's his name in the film.
That's Klaus.
Yeah. So, but they say it Claw. So Shuri
No,
maybe
dude.
the next Black Panther.
He, his name is his nickname. His villain name in the comics is Claw. I
Okay.
guess the spelling is Klaus. Maybe it's German.
I have no idea.
Like like how Doctor Octavius became Doctor Octopus. So maybe it's something like that.
Look the costume. They are the richest country in the world, yet they are wearing tribal clothes. They use spike instead of guns. They use animal instead of vehicles.
They're
So
forgetting what the spikes and those clothes are made of.
yeah. So what? Because they are embracing their culture, right?
Dude, yeah, but
Okay. I think this is the thought process of basically westernization, that wearing a jeans, wearing shirt means you are advanced, wearing tribal clothes means you are not advanced. That's not how
but
things work, like.
dude, those tribal clothes only, right? One set of clothing will cost more than a Ferrari
Yeah.
because it's made of vibranium.
No, this is basically the mindset, right? That even if you're rich, that means you need to wear jeans and shirt and all, which western nice concepts. That means you are rich. That means that means you have money. Otherwise, if you're wearing anything else, it does not represent money. The thing with Killmonger is that even though he had a justified reason, it was very clear that he was the villain. But all the others, they tried to make them victims, but missed the mark.
And also one more thing that makes sense, right? They have spears and all. Obviously, right? How could they have guns? If they had vibranium bullets, they would literally be shoot,
No,
shooting
but the
for.
spears also like shoot, right? Like watching it again, right? He says it. Killmonger. He just picks a weapon and says, "Just this, spear, and we can shoot blasters from it." Just imagine what we don't even need guns and bullets.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we say Killmonger was best solo villain in MCU? What do you mean by solo villain?
Which villain wasn't a solo? All the
Like
villains were solo.
he didn't have a crew or anything. He did everything on his own,
Oh,
right?
in that
He
sense.
planned
Oh,
everything
like
on his
that.
own.
Is
Like
there?
Thanos had the his children.
So is Loki a solo villain then?
Yeah, Loki is a solo
No,
villain.
right? In the Avengers movie, he got this whole thing, and
He just
Yeah,
had an army. He was a solo villain in the first Thor movie and in the Avengers movie, I guess. Like there was no superintendent, there was no general. The light only shines on him.
so Muthurangam says not a villain, maybe anti-hero. Do you think he's an anti-hero or a villain, Killmonger?
who?
No, in the
No,
Black Panther movie, he's a villain.
he's a villain.
He's the antagonist, right?
Yeah.
He
Uh,
straight up kills the protagonist, dude. What do you mean? He's an anti-hero.
no, he's basically his means of what he's trying to do is
See,
villainous, right?
yeah, see, the concept of anti-hero is they do the right thing without without any constraints. So like
Like Punisher.
they'll Yeah.
Like they'll kill.
So
They
they,
don't mind killing. Yeah.
end of the day, 90% of the people will say what their the end goal was the right thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Killmongers, like the whole thing only was little
Oh,
the
Zemo
way
in
he went,
Civil War,
Like for
dude. One
Thanos,
of the
for
greatest
he
Thanos,
villains.
you know,
he
his end goal in the Infinity War movie was somewhat justified. If you think about it, like people still say that it was
He was
justified.
an anti-hero, you can say. He was actually
Yeah, in
protagonist
the
of that
Infinity
film.
War movie. Like he didn't kill anyone, like even in nowhere scene, right? He just uses the reality stone to, just dispower everybody around him.
Hmm.
He didn't kill anyone he didn't need to.
Who
Like he
who
could have
killed
killed
who
anyone.
killed Idris Elba's character in the beginning?
One of his henchmen, no,
I think Thanos did.
no, no.
Thanos
What
only
was
killed Loki.
Hmm.
No, no, Thanos killed. Yeah, Thanos killed Idris Elba. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember like
Thanos
he
killed him.
stabs him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
But
he
he did
sends
it
Hulk away,
because,
right?
he did it
yeah.
because of the thing, right? He sent Hulk to
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else.
yeah,
Like, if you get in his way, he'll kill you. That's anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
What about Zemo? Zemo was a great villain. I really like. Civil War is my favorite film, so I like everything in that.
Zemo also got a
Zemo is a villain. Zemo is a good villain.
but Zemo got a redemption arc in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
But
So
if you see, Zemo didn't kill a good guy in Civil War. He killed one guy who was actually a member of this uh,
yeah,
The,
Hydra.
s-
yeah,
the psychiatrist.
yeah.
No,
But
no,
at
the
the end of the day, but at the end of the day,
yeah, psychiatrist he killed.
But at the end of the day, Zemo's goal wasn't anything good. It was revenge. So revenge doesn't become anti-hero.
No,
Anti-heroes, their
no,
goal
no.
is
Punisher's goal was also revenge, if you think about it. You know, See,
But
Zemo's goal
revenge
is
for
not
a
about taking
no,
over the
but
world.
Punisher's goal is revenge for the greater good, right? Like he's not going just
See,
after the guy who
Zemo is
killed his
not
family.
trying to take over the world, right? Zemo has
the
no agenda.
see
He just wants the
punish
Avengers to pay for what they did. That's his
Punisher's
whole thing.
Punisher's goal in the first season was revenge, but at the same time, if he saw anything wrong happening and all, he didn't like ignore it. He would
No,
like
Are but
step in.
he went after every criminal. He didn't say like, oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
only the
exactly.
one who killed my family, I'm gonna kill them.
Yeah,
See, Zemo
exactly.
is a villain because like he would not do the right thing if he had
Yeah.
the chance. He's not, like
Falcon
Punisher.
the
He's not
Winter
punishing
Soldier.
bad guys.
Falcon the Winter
Arre,
Soldier.
He
Yeah, that's
had
what
an
I
agenda.
said. That's what I said. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he got a redemption arc.
See, he had an agenda there also, right? He didn't want super soldiers. That's his whole thing. Even in the Civil War movie, even here. Like when you
Hmm.
talk about it, he says, when we talk about like the power thing, right? He says, the power, this is not something, it will always corrupt people. And when then, Winter Soldier says that it didn't corrupt Captain America. And he said that he's Captain America. So that's different thing. He's an anomaly. But every time Super Soldier serum will corrupt people.
Hmm.
So he has his mind made about that. But that's his only goal. He's not about anti-hero or anything else. He just doesn't want super soldiers. So he's not an anti-hero. He's a villain in the first Civil War movie. Then something happens. He follows his own agenda, kills all the super villains in the last also. Like superhumans, he kills them,
So that
right?
was
In the last.
this right? Like that was a part of his plan.
Yeah, so even going forward, like he would not become anti-hero or hero. He will still be the villain in the Thunderbolts movie as well, right? In that movie is
Hmm.
about villains doing something, villains team and then them doing something. Maybe it will end up in something good.
But he's
Maybe
the
not
one
like
who's
Suicide Squad.
pragmatic, right? Who thinks logically.
Yeah.
He's not like he's not doing evil. He's not being evil.
See, if his family hadn't died, we would not even had a Zemo.
Yeah.
His whole thing started with his wife and child being dead, right?
But
And his
before
father.
that, he was working for Sokovia, right? Like he was a bad. Like his job was to go infiltrate countries and all, right?
So he
You
was
know,
a black operative, right? Black ops
Yeah. Basically,
person.
what
And
Killmonger was.
yeah, so they are not bad guys, right? For doing what they are told to do. They are just soldiers.
yeah,
Hmm. Wanda could have been redeemed better if the influence of Darkhold was made very clear.
it
I
was
actually
clear.
don't like that concept. I never like this concept that, an object took over you. I always feel it should be, that object gave you the power, but you chose to use it in the wrong way.
No, but dude, the Darkhold, that storyline has been happening since Agents of Shield. Like Agents of Shield, there is one arc where an AI reads the Darkhold, and then the Darkhold corrupts the AI also. The AI also becomes evil. So that's how powerful the Darkhold is. Like they
No,
were all
that's
like,
what I don't like,
see
right?
that's what, like they were all like, everyone who reads the Darkhold becomes evil. So let the AI read it. Maybe the AI won't go evil. Biggest mistake of their life.
No, but I'm saying that's what I don't like. Like if Captain America reads it, he will not become corrupted. That's what I'm trying to say. That at the end of the day, Darkhold is definitely influencing you, but it depends on the
Yeah.
person if you are want to get influenced or not. If you are in that state, like Wanda is in that state, that
Mm.
she like,
Yeah.
okay, you're giving me this power, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, like see, it didn't work on Agatha. Like even though she used the Darkhold, she was evil before she didn't become any more corrupted and all. Like she was fully in her senses.
Maybe she's already corrupted. Like, how can you get more corrupted? Ask Indian politicians. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But see, like everyone who used the Darkhold, right? When they got corrupted, their personalities also changed. But Agatha did not change. Like she was the same as she was before she got the Darkhold and after she got the Darkhold.
all right. Hey guys, love your channels. Thank you. RS RSJ63. I saw the film last night, having waited decades to see Neymar on screen. I have to say it was very well worth the wait. He's fearsome. Oh,
Hmm.
you saw the film last night? Wow.
Wait,
Don't
how?
ruin it first.
But how?
Maybe they show some like premiere or something like that.
Ooh, we got international fans now.
But yeah, man, I think actually I'm looking so forward to Namor. I don't know why. Watching the
You don't even
trailer,
know who Neymar is, do you?
no, I don't know from the comics, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I want to see. Like, see, I'm assuming it's very much kind of similar to this Aquaman, right? Like he's a hybrid. Like his father was, yeah, a land from land, mother was from.
He came first in the comics, by the way.
So
Namor
basically,
was the
I
first
have the idea,
first
but
one.
looking at the trailer, what he's showing, like how he's like, how amazing he's looking, and all of that. I cannot just wait to see his story unfold.
The costume has been a game of Ryan Coogler, I think. Costume design is something that his direction is always on point, right? He's always so sure about what he wants his characters to look like. And
Yeah,
the thing that they have changed the backstory for MCU, the history of Namor, right? He's not from like Atlantis.
yeah,
He's someplace.
Talocan.
He's from someplace
They've
called
actually
Talocan,
used
and he's Aztec.
real history.
Like he's from Aztec. He's not from Atlantis. So Aztec is a different society altogether.
Yeah, like I like whatever like first impressions I've heard from the movie. Like people are like loving Namor. They are loving the story, and they are saying there's like big twist in the film, like in the narrative. It's like you think something else, but there's something else. Or like Civil War vibes I'm getting. So I just cannot wait for it, man. Zemo didn't get a redemption arc. He tried.
By the way, I will not be able to watch it on 11th. So don't do anything on 11th night.
No, I think yeah, we'll do Sunday mostly. Sunday,
Yeah.
of course.
By
Nolan
Sunday, I'll
also,
watch.
and Nolan
Yeah.
also
By Sunday.
will have seen on Sunday only.
Yeah.
Okay. Zemo didn't get a redemption arc. He tries to get away when Wakandans come to arrest him. He didn't he didn't want super soldiers. He wanted to kill super soldiers. Okay. So you guys have no problem in think on a rich country, one of the first modernized nation, technically advanced society, still use combat as a way to elect leaders state. Black Adam rocks. That's what I'm trying to say, buddy. This is a westernized concept that these things means you are not rich enough, you don't have like when you say modernization doesn't mean what Europe did or what America did. That's not the
Mm.
definition of modernization. This is a country which had its own rituals, which they belong their own, culture.
There is a saying, you don't have to break a previous house to build a new one.
Yeah.
You know, there are foundations. The foundations are still there. So they're modernized, but they respect their culture. You know, you don't
No,
have to
I'm saying
abandon your
no.
culture to
I'm
be
saying
modern.
this. The term modernization
Yeah.
doesn't mean taking up Western attire, Western philosophies.
Yeah.
See, they're
Westernization is
more
not
they are
modernization.
more advanced, technically advanced than all the Western countries combined. In the MCU, if we talk about,
Yeah.
like they still have their culture and their
No,
clothing
no,
is.
no. But his question is about the fight thing. So what I'm thinking is they, even if they are technically advanced, they still need to defend against people who still use combat as a thing. And that ritual is not like a rough thing. It is a not like a thing just to fight for the sake of fighting. They are fighting to see who is the strongest person around to take on the mantle of Black Panther, to see who is the most worthy. So how else are they going to do that? Black Panther is supposed to be the strongest warrior. So if they
See,
don't have a competition, how else
also
are
if
they going
you
to do
see
it?
the first movie, it's not just one royal family there, right? There are
Yes,
tribes. In all the tribes, there are royal families, and they all fight for. They all have someone who can be a king of all the Wakanda, of
yes,
all the tribes. So it's
exactly.
not just T'Challa's bloodline who is royal and they can only be king. It's not like that.
Yeah,
You
No,
know,
I
there
think
are
I think
different
that's not
bloodlines.
the question. I think the question is if they are so advanced, why there are no elections? Why they are fighting? Like they are so what
Nolan
is the
Nolan
term?
put it very beautifully right now. It's not about the fighting. It's about recognizing who is the best person to be the king, to save Wakanda from
the black
outsiders.
to be the Black Panther. The Black Panther is supposed to be the strongest warrior.
Inferior. Here, being tribal is considered being inferior, and being westernized or like Europe or America means you are modern. That's what wrong with your question. That's what we are trying to say. That has nothing to do with it. If even if they are
You
more
know,
modern than European nations or whatever, that doesn't mean they have to be like that.
if you look, if it's all about tribal and clothing and everything, their clothes are also more technologically advanced. Like they
We
have
we
shields
we we
built in
already
them.
we dude we already covered that. They're like why if they're so there was a question if they're so modern, why are they wearing tribal clothes? So we were like, their one set of tribal clothes cost more than a Ferrari.
Yeah, their tribal clothes have freaking shields in them.
That's what.
Then Wanda should not have redeemed because she kills of lots of people. In Black Panther, dude, I was just counting so many people get killed, like directly by the actions of the heroes. Like there's a joke, where T'Challa just destroys a car and the driver falls off and Shuri drives over him. Like, come on, he's dead. And she's like, "Oh, what happened?" And T'Challa like, "Don't worry, just focus." And then there's at the end in the climax, all those ships they destroy. There's a
See,
person
T'Challa
inside.
is not against killing people. He's not one
No, no,
of
I'm
those
not
heroes. Or
saying. See, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. I feel those things, right? Especially, recently I was watching someone's reaction on Daredevil, and that hallway fight scene, and the second one in the season 2, where the stairway fight scene. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this guy always talks about I'm not gonna kill people, I'm not gonna kill people. But the way he's like hitting these people, someone at least will die. He's throwing them over the stairs, he's punching them so hard, he's twisting their
Arey,
head.
dude, but he can't see them falling off the stairs, right? So he doesn't know how high he's
Basically
throwing
he's
this is
them.
the
killing.
this is the justification I expect from a true Batman fan.
I cannot see. Like Batman is like, like he destroys, like he
See,
throws a
Batman is
grenade
like,
and
I'll
looks away.
break every bone in their body. I'll put them in the hospital for like 10 years, but they're not dead at least.
Dude, that'd be horrible life that they have to pay the insurance.
And goons don't have insurance.
He's selling bat insurance to them, Bane insurance.
The Wayne Enterprise insurance, only for goons.
I still don't know how Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. There are better movies like Logan that were missed. I feel Logan doesn't work as a singular film. Like if you don't know the characters, you don't know the past of those films and the characters, actors playing those characters for a long time, you don't get the same feeling. it's a great superhero film, a great end to the character of Logan and Professor X, and it makes more sense. The relationship makes more sense because we know the past with them. But as a standalone film, I don't think it works.
By the way, the girl who played X-23 has been recast in a new role in a superhero
Ah,
movie.
What, DC, Marvel?
I think it was a Marvel project only.
good to see she shows up
But
in Deadpool though.
she was really mute, right? If I'm not wrong.
No, no,
No, she can
no,
talk.
Oh, she
no.
can talk. Okay.
She's spoken Spanish, right?
Oh yeah, oh shit, she speaks in movie also.
Dude, imagine they recast her in a Marvel movie only, right? And that Marvel movie is Deadpool. She shows up and Deadpool like, isn't she your daughter?
You saw the other picture. I think there was like a scar mark on a car, and Hugh Jackman posted it saying that I'm trying it out. Like didn't get it right, but if it's Ryan Reynolds in front of me, I'm damn gonna get it right. They're definitely teasing much. What you were talking just now? Yeah, I think we
Modernization.
talked the death and all. I talked about it.
Yeah.
Dude, you get two choices: A, freaking cool fight scene; B,
I think she has
giving.
been cast in Star Wars Acolyte.
Okay, don't care. Dude, you got two choices: A, freaking cool fight scene, or giving scientifically accurate injuries that won't take their life. See, a show where the character, literally that episode I'm talking about, stairway fight scene, is the same episode where Punisher ties him on the roof and they had a whole discussion about not killing people. And after that, if you do that, like, I'm gonna question it. Where you're just like, he hits 20, 25, 30 people until he comes down. I'm sure 5 to 6 of them died.
But
There's no way they didn't die.
the thing is, right? The Netflix deliberately makes it look even more brutal by
Yeah.
showing all the blood and all. Like, see, when they did the same hallway fight scene in She-Hulk, and it looked far less brutal. It looked like a regular fight, like no blood, nothing.
I like movies like you are assuming they'll die. Dude, people just, sometimes, some other artery gets stretched and they die on spot. Just by the stretch of an artery. He's just kicking them over the stairs. They're falling and, just bashing them and hitting on the walls. Come on. Not even one of them have like a blood pressure issue or some issue that they just die on spot.
If they had blood pressure issues, they would not be goons. This
That's
is
not
not
true, dude.
Not necessarily.
That's not true.
necessarily.
What if they don't know that they have a blood pressure issue? They don't have the money. They don't have the vein insurance. There's no medical report.
This is gonna catch on, I think, with insurance.
But yeah, I think, see, my question is, especially, see, for Black Panther, I'm not going to raise this question as Harneet said, right? We don't know if he kills or not. We have no idea. But for a show, for a character who just put so much, the whole episode was about, not killing people. That, you have to be careful when you show all this stuff. Shuri's act. Okay, there was one more She-Hulk question I missed. Wait. I have full belief that Killmonger will be in BP2 as they need to correct the two movies and they will not have CGI Chadwick even in the afterlife portions. Yes, that's
I'm
what I've heard.
I'm still wondering. I thought Killmonger died.
He's going to come in the ancestral plane. Like Shuri is
Oh,
going to the ancestral plane and
Shush.
she'll meet him instead of
Shush.
T'Challa.
What are
You
you
know
doing?
this.
Stop it.
you
You know this. You have already heard this. Come on.
No.
It's not like you're
You-
hearing it for
I
the
don't know
first
what you're
time.
talking about. Someone asked a She-Hulk question. I think they deleted it.
I probably answered it.
Guys, Todd from She-Hulk was the best villain, hands down. Moving
Who?
on. There was no need for me to search that question. Once again, you are talking about chances. Goons in Hell's Kitchen are in perfect health. Shuri's actress was anti.
watch after this. Go watch the Kenny Sebastian video on Goons.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Shuri's actress was anti-vaccine during the filming that caused multiple delays in production on the movie. Marvel won't let Shuri be the only Black Panther in the movie and moving. I think they have sorted that shit out. Okay,
Yeah.
my theory was that because of the all the deaths that happened in the first movie, I feel like we'll have more major deaths in this film. What do you think? Apart from, of course, T'Challa's character.
See, I think so. Because, Rwanda's character, the mother,
Mm.
she says at the UN at the start, right? My whole family is dead after Namor has attacked. So I think Shuri is
Hmm.
apparently gonna die, like Chadwick Boseman in the first movie,
And
and
then
then
come
she's gonna
back to
come back
life.
as Black Panther.
Okay, that'll be a
She says,
little
right, my whole family
repetitive.
is dead.
Hmm.
So like whole family, Shuri also comes under whole family, right?
Harneet, stop theorizing. Once you are taken about okay, I took that one. I know who dies, so I want to say in the shush. Stop it. Okay, guys, your final thoughts on Black Panther and expectations from Wakanda Forever.
See, as I said, I think this is one of the better movies. All the things we talked about, its effect on MCU and on people, general, majorly the black community in America and other Western parts, right? All that. It was a great movie to watch itself. Like even if you haven't watched any MCU movie, it came at a time where we were all discussing that MCU is just one big series with 22 episodes of movies, right? And this is one of the good movies which you don't have to connect to anything. You can watch it on its own and it will still make sense and you will still like it. And that actually kind of uh, makes me want to see more, look forward to the movie that's coming, especially after Chadwick's death, and how this movie is going to address that, and how moving forward they're gonna fill the hole in the Avengers through the Black Panther character, right? Okay,
Yeah.
in the movie Black Panther's role is different. In Wakanda, his role is different. But the role of Black Panther in Avengers Secret Wars, and all the future and the MCU is also dependent on this movie, right? Black Panther is also a part of Illuminati. Also, is a big part in Secret Wars. Also, so how they are going with that, because T'Challa's Black Panther had a different vibe in the comics.
I learned that Wesley Shipp was going to be Black Panther in 90s.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
was.
not impossible. Like he's already been Blade. It's not impossible that they bring him as an alternate version of T'Challa in some other
Wesley
universe.
Snipes, they can actually.
He's alive, right?
Yeah, he is.
I have no
He is.
idea.
Dude, what the hell?
I remember him watching in this Demolition Man.
Eh,
It's one of my favorite films. It always come on UTV Action, and I've seen it so many times. Like the whole concept was so fun that like people like the whole like today watching it, like you see the metaphor what they're going for. But the back then also like found it really cool. Oh, actually they are not the villains; they are the heroes. The people they're fighting.
you know Talking about Black Panther 2, all the movies coming in phase 4, phase 5 are gonna be connected to, let's say,
multiverse.
multiverse or
Yeah,
omniverse or
exactly.
whatever.
I was going
you
to
know
bring that up. Like
this is one of the movies which we don't have to connect to anything. Like it is just gonna address Black Panther's death, T'Challa's death, Nemo's introduction, and what the conflict is between the two nations. We
And
don't have to worry about
And the best part
Kang.
is more excited for that,
Yeah,
just the
exactly,
politics
exactly.
of that and the Wakanda. Like I
Yeah.
don't like it's like a Wakanda universe. I don't care about MCU right now.
So we don't have to
I,
worry about Kang. We don't have to worry about Doctor Strange. We don't have to worry about what the phrase was
Doctor
in.
Doom.
No, Doctor Strange का phrase था.
I'm waiting. Like I like that theory. Like Doctor Doom might be behind
I
everything.
think they said it's
I'm
not
really
happening.
hoping that you only said no spoilers and now you spoiled it for me.
No, how is this?
No, it's just a rumor. It's just a speculation right now.
I know. I
So
think
we'll see.
a producer said it or data said it that they have not dive into Doctor Doom yet. Like it's gonna take some time for him to come into the universe.
Maybe more X.
There
Maybe
is
some
time,
X Men.
there is time. I think the conflict between two entities at this point of time is better to watch with the over
I don't think we'll get X-Men before this Secret
phase
Wars.
6. Yeah, phase
Yeah.
6 is gonna be the X-Men. Yeah.
After Secret Wars, once they do all the like Secret Wars will be kind of a reboot to the universe.
See, they are slowly building towards it, right?
Yeah.
They played the X-Men theme in Doctor
uh,
Strange movie
yeah.
when Professor X comes, and in the Miss Marvel series, which I actually watched
Yeah.
now. I have completed it.
Finally.
So finally, so they
I'm
played the X-Men theme, and it was a nice moment. I didn't watch any clips or anything on YouTube also. So when they played the animated X-Men theme, it was actually kind of a goosebump moment. Okay, because I have watched the shows a lot of times, and it's coming again. So
I'm
they're
really
building
interested.
towards it slowly. So let's just wait for that, I guess.
I'm really interested in seeing how they're going to do the costumes. Like because like the entire Fox universe completely just gave up on the X-Men costumes because like they thought it
Yeah, they
wouldn't be
would tease a
realistic.
good costume at the the ending of a movie, and then they'll just
Yeah.
forget about it in the next movie.
They did that at the end of
That was
Wolverine
Fox, man.
2013.
That
Yeah.
was Fox.
So like Marvel is really good at doing their costumes and also like I want to see
See
how
the
they do the
Kang's
X-Men
costume,
costumes.
man, in Ant-Man
Yeah.
trailer. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly from the comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that movie as well. This is we'll talk about it at Ant-Man someday later, but that trailer was also amazing.
Mm. Mm.
Apparently, there are actual reports that from Oscar-related prediction websites that Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda is getting real strong buzz for a nomination in Best Supporting Actress. I've heard that. I like movie says awesome, made 8 out of 10 because there are other movies in MCU that I like more. What if M'Baku challenged Shuri for the mantle? No. Shuri has to be stripped of her Black Panther powers before combat. I don't know how Shuri will win this combat. Uh, I don't think that. Let's see, man, in the movie what they do. I miss the Marvel when I was. See, if you remember, like in for Black Panther also, when the thing actually it was not gonna be a fight. They didn't know M'Baku was gonna show up and they're gonna fight. Every tribe was with them. No one like said, we have a warrior to fight. So at the end of the Black Panther 1 movie, even M'Baku and his clan came together. His tribe came together. So
Yeah.
they all are together. There's no competition between them now. I miss
Yeah, but
Marvel when I was young.
that was more than five. That was before the 5 year gap. We don't know what
M'Baku
happened
stayed,
during
right?
the
Did
five.
M'Baku also go away?
Nothing is clarified.
No, there's a scene right at the field, and we
Umbaku
see.
stayed. Umbaku was not dusted. Yeah, he stayed.
Oh,
I miss. Okay, there was a concept art of uniform leaked, and people saw someone said trying to costume the lines of Doctor Doom. Okay, I'm not reading that. I miss the Marvel when I was younger. There was Doctor Strange, Thor, Ragnarok, Black Panther. When
huh?
phase 1 to 3 are really like solid. I actually
You-
thought, after phase 3, like I think
How
I'm done
how
with Marvel.
how fast did this guy grow up, man? He's saying
To
Thor
Doctor
Ragnarok was
Strange was,
uh,
how many years back?
2016.
How many years? More than 6 years now. 6 years, dude. People grow up in 6 years. We grew up in 6 years, man. 2016 he passed from 12th.
Oh shit.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? We're talking about. Oh, we also have this, right? Iron Heart in the movie.
Yeah.
She's also gonna be a big player.
Array, Angela Bassett, I think her podcast was gonna come, right? To tie into the Black Panther 2 movie.
I have no idea.
So there is a tie-in podcast where she will speak about some questions to tie into the movie, like the how the movie picks up.
That I'll see in the movie when it picks up. I'm not listening to any podcast. Nolan realizing aging happens.
Nona being ironic, saying on a podcast that I'm gonna not gonna listen to a podcast.
This is not a podcast. This is a live stream.
Okay, still.
I was gonna say, Nolan, right? He goes out in the night, right, and it all becomes blurry, so he doesn't realize how the days have passed. Basically, Ironheart will be American Chavez in Multiverse of Madness. The story and the conflict is all around her. Okay. So, anything else from the film? Really looking forward to Namor. Really looking forward to the film. Really excited. Gives me Civil War vibes. I've said so many times now. So yeah, man. I think that's it. Anything else from you guys? Any last words? I think the next time we are meeting directly after watching the movie. Also tomorrow, guys, we are doing. I'm watching Rogue One for the first time, so do join us for the watch along if you want to watch it.
What did you just say? What did
That's
just
it, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see
what
you
did I
next
just
time.
hear? Nona
Keep
watching
geeking
Star Wars?
out. Bye bye.
What?
Yes. Tomorrow we are doing a live watch along because I have to watch Andor, so I'm thinking of watching Rogue One first.
You know, Andor is a prequel, right? Not a sequel.
Yeah, because but everyone has seen it, right? So I want to watch it. I've
Have you watched
it's
the
called the best
prequel
Star
movies?
Wars film, so I like want to watch it. That then I watch Andor.
Have you
Mhm.
watched the prequel movies?
I've seen not the prequel movies,
Oh,
not the prequel. The original trilogy I've seen and the sequel trilogy. I have not seen the prequels. I don't care about the. I don't see the Clone Wars. Whatever. That's it. Bye bye. Keep kicking out. Bye guys. Good night. And the stream ended.